To all replay viewers, I will be leaving timestamps in the description so that you can jump to the reviews of the different niches that you are interested in the most. You know, today I will be reviewing different niches, and since you are not live, you don't have a chance to get a review anymore, obviously. That's reserved for the live audience. So I bet there will be a few other channels that are in similar niches. So that would be helpful for you to watch as well. And before you go down and click on one of those timestamps, now to everyone, hi in the live audience, great to see you all. The purpose of this stream today is to think about the niche in a bigger, a kind of something I think more than we usually think about niches. It is not just a box in which we put our channel, the type of content we do, and there are similar channels out there. So those channels and yourself are in the same niche. But ultimately, to understand your niche right means that you can do content planning that in turn is good to dominate, browse, and suggested. Because if you think about YouTube SEO, where we optimize for particular search terms, well, for the browse and suggested videos algorithms, there we don't have search terms. These are not search algorithms, right? So instead, what we have instead of search terms is video topics. Yeah. And the kind of research to arrive at a point where these other algorithms, the YouTube recommendations engine, understands what your video is about. Well, this is a research process that starts with your own niche to see what content is already out there. How can you, connect to the existing content to reach the same viewers? Same viewers means, by the way, you can understand. I have created this new tool. Many of you already have access to it. It's early access right now. If you're interested, there's a description. In the description, I explain how to get access. We are showing the niche as something that is consists of all these channels here, right? And it is, sometimes I hear people like, this is kind of competition analysis, yeah? But that's not really it. What we want to do here is, and that is how we understand a niche, is that a niche consists of one big audience that has one particular interest. In my case, for example, all those channels are YouTube advice, right? And what the audience of all those channels have in common is their interest in getting tips to grow their own YouTube channels. That's their interest. That's their purpose why they watch videos in the niche, because they want to learn how to grow their channels, right? And so if we understand that the audience as a whole that is roaming around in the niche, and all the viewers are watching many different channels at the same time. So it's not really competition, but all added together as content for those people, the same people with the same interest. Well, that as a whole, understanding the niche as one big viewer group that shares one common interest, that is the important first step to go this research process. And today, I want to review your channels so that we can get a broad understanding of the different niches, how they work, and what it really means, not to just look at the channels who compete with us, but instead look at what kind of audience has this whole niche in common. Yeah. And of course, the big goal in the end is, if we understand what audience is there in the niche, what can we do as content planning in order to reach more viewers that are already in that niche, but just don't watch your particular channel, for example, yet. And we can, with good content planning, attract more viewers that, belong to that niche. All right. So for the replay viewers, now it's a good time to go to the timestamps. I hope that served as a good introduction for what we look at today. And I'm so happy to see so many of you already being here in the chat. Many familiar faces like Jeremy, Zane, Philip, Vinny, Jodine. Jodine is quite new here. It's great to have you in my community as well. I mean, I bet it's the same thing, right? For me, some of you are new, but you were always for a long time already in that niche as a viewer, and I managed in a way to attract you to go to my channel as well, right? But I bet most of you, if you didn't watch my channel that often yet, well, you know Think Media, you know vidIQ, you know Roberto Blake, or channel makers Nick Nimmin, all these channels in the core, they attract like a magnet all the viewers in the niche. So there's a super high chance that you started watching some of the channels in the core of the niche. And since I am at the outskirts here, far outside, it took you a little longer to reach my channel, right? So this is really the thinking. For me, some of you are new, but you're not new to this YouTube tips niche. So great to see you, everyone. No Job for Life, great discussing recently. Boost on the Rocks, Color Creatively. I think you're the color channel. We had some email exchange recently, right? Smada, how are you doing? Marta, great to have you here as well. NASA's Kitchen, awesome. Let's see if we can get some cooking channels. Someone asked me, they want to have a cooking channel. AJ, Steven, United Tech Zone, how are you doing? Tatiana, great that you made it as well. Golden Solution, you are new, right? So awesome to see you. Andrew, Indigo Escape, Big Bassam 4000, you're new too, right? Confidence Creator, Ploppy 54, Wrestling Face, Liquid Channel, Worlds, all new, welcome. Jane, how are you doing, old friend? Walking with God, Kent, I think I heard you before. Yeah, exactly. Dirk, how are you doing? Please help me reach 1K subs. Yeah, maybe the tips today get you on the road there. No recipes, how are you doing? Electronic Pro, I think tech will be included as well. The chances high. Child Jump, how are you doing? Harley, old friend, great to have you here again. The Review.uk, Sizzling Popcorn. How are you doing? Kali Culture, Hollies, Bossmate Mode, Full House, The Dog Vlog, how are you doing? Death Dealer and Soap School, how are you doing? Awesome to have you all. You know the drill. The reviews nowadays is always like this. I will say, leave a review in the description. Oh, I have to start my tool. Okay, now we go. Please let review in the as a chat comment. My tool will automatically collect your votes, so to say. And with that, I will choose one randomly for reviewing the niche. And then once I'm done, I do that again. So the next one gets a review and so on until we reach maybe 2 or 3 hours. So I'm sure we will get a good number of reviews in for many to have a chance as well. And yeah, the purpose is, of course, to take the new tool for a spin that I just released as early access. But whether you already have access to it or not, if you already have it, I will open up your already created niche and then we will fine tune it. I give feedback on that. Or if you don't have access to it yet, then we will just create a new niche for you. All right. So let's see. Let's go in there. And as always, if you have a question that I should answer in between, please leave at Morningfame in the chat message so that I have a special screen here where I only see the at Morningfame messages, so it's easier to catch them in between. All right, let's see. Okay. So I think that would be enough. We have this button here. Okay, I configured this thing new. So a little bit of learning here for me. So, all right, let's refresh those channels to see. I think, Winnie, the last one is already... okay, then let's pick a winner. Let's see. Who's the next one? This is a little bit out of screen here. Okay. The Indigo Escape. All right. It's your turn. Let's see. Do you have a Morningfame account? If you do, then I'll open up your niche that you already created. Let me check. Looks good. Then we can just get a quick start without having to create the new niche yourself. All right, so here we go. Yes, sir. Awesome. Okay, so for everyone to see, Indigo Escape, he already created his niche here. So you see quite a number of channel. Here we see his channel already. So he is quite connected here. So let's quickly see. I don't have the info here about your channel. Okay, then what was that? So yeah, he is already a little bit a larger channel, subscriber similar to me, and obviously regarding off the grid, abandoned farm, off the grid, like establishing your own, farm, place to live off the grid, I think, right? Old house renovation. Obviously, I assume making it cheap in Portugal. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, I think everyone has a good idea about the purpose of the channel. So renovation niche, I see you would count it as that. So what we first of all see here, just for everyone else to understand, these arrows that we see here tell that if viewers watch, for example, this channel here, then there is a decent chance that they discover their channels next. YouTube's recommendations, of course, always recommends other channels that are in the same niche, do similar content. And we can clearly see that here. So he already acts as a magnet here to attract the audiences in the niche. And we can already see he is, this here, the Indigo Escape, he's already quite at the top. So there are a few bigger channels and they are, place number 8. So impressive. Yeah. That's the goal that we all want to achieve, that we slowly go towards the inner circle. So that means that we basically attract the biggest portion of the audience that watches channels in that niche. So let's see how that is defined. Yeah, you say renovation niche. Yeah, and oftentimes people define their a niche by the type of content that they do. But what is important is that we switch our perspective a little bit to understand it more from a viewer point of view. Yeah. So I think when we look at this off the grid farm renovation, yeah. So I assume that maybe off the grid is also an interest that you have in your audience. So it's not purely the renovation part, but they are there to for off the grid living. Okay, you build a lot of things. It's basically, I assume, a vlog about building your houses there and making everything work of the grid generator, power generation and all that stuff, do it yourself. That's interesting. So let's see what you have selected as the channels that are you consider as well as part of your niche. So here we have also abandoned homestead, water automation, I assume, building. This is a game changer, off-grid tiny home. Yeah, so it's off the grid. I think this is, if we would say home generation, then it would be not defining it well enough, because you could renovate a house, in the suburbs, in a city or something like that. But that's certainly not the same thing. That's kind of, your own homestead, stuff like this, having a big, here 5 acres and so of land. That's impressive. So that fits in well here. What I'm analyzing here is, as you know, with the tool, it's quite easy to add channels here. So you have this queue. They were already ahead and already decided whether to add or ignore the channels that might be added to the niche. So nothing to do here for me anymore, except maybe deciding this one, but we have enough already here. The channels that you add later define how well you can do your content planning. But apparently, you already do a really good job here of the grid water system. Here we have a little bit of traveling as well, right? Event. This is best national park, abandoned farm. We moved a little bit of traveling in there, but it makes sense to still keep them in. Yeah, it is a question of whether someone does, your kind of stuff recently for a little bit and then continues to do traveling again, or it's always focused on this. The big question here is, why are the people in the niche or on those channels watching those videos? Here, obviously, many people are there for the reason to see traveling videos. So you see, they do this renovation stuff as well, but also traveling. It's on the corner of the edge of your niche, so to say. But I would keep them in here. Wide, wonderful, off the grid. I mean, the channel name alone already tells that. So they are moving the house, timelets, building house start to finish. Yeah, looks good. So that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. Because if you have defined those channels in the niche well, then finally in the topics tab, the research will be on point, because almost all videos will have a topic that fits your niche as well. And this way you can get inspiration that is helpful. Let's just do a little bit quick things, yeah? Here's a tool that helps you find trends, for example. Maybe we make it a little bit smaller again. So thought, that doesn't sound like this. Harvesting, yeah, harvesting. That's, could be a local trend. Yeah, in winter you won't have harvesting, right? So obviously you see here that 3 of those are burner videos. It's a good idea to talk about that as well. If you are off the grid, then you probably also want to be self-sustained, right? The question is, how much self-sustained is there in your niche as well? And the idea is, of course, finding topics that the viewers in the niche really want to watch, and the harvesting stuff now becomes relevant. The question is, of course, what would you say, by the way? Now question to the Indigo Escape in the chat. Your viewers, are there aspiring to live off the grid and just enjoy the process that you go through, or are more many people in the viewership that you have also people who have their own off the grid house, stuff like this. So in that case, it's kind of the question of harvesting is relevant for them, because if they have their own house and want to live off the grid, then now it becomes relevant. We have summer. Since 2 months or so, you can harvest quite a lot already. And that's an interesting topic for them now. But if they just do it for fun, just to follow along your journey, then they probably may not want to digress into all the food growing stuff, right? So they aspire to live like this. Awesome. So if they really might do that in the future, then it could be, the kind of harvesting that you could do there. And the idea would be to watch those videos and see why they were so successful. Is maybe not the detailed info how to do it exactly to get the best fruit, but more rather like what all the things that you can do, so that you know that the basic things that you need to set up in order to get self-sustained and not have to go to the supermarket so often. So interesting. We can easily see some trends here even. Bluetti, that's probably a power generator, right? Maybe you could do a Bluetti review, although I see just one of them as a burner. So maybe that's not the best choice. The Edge Eleglide, it's a bike, right? So ride the hills. Seems many probably this new bike was released. A tree. That doesn't tell much. These suggestions not always have something worth doing a video about. Step closer to lovely roof, closer to the end, closer. Finishing things up. That maybe triggers people if they read that in the title. New era style, Winchester style, home style. So maybe the design interest a little bit, replacing and so on. What are the old evergreens things? Mobile homes, mobile spaces, mobile home. That's interesting. Can you see that? Most popular videos. These are all most popular videos that you can see here. Wow. Mobile, these are top videos that are through the roof. Wow. So maybe that's a topic that you could cover there as well. I mean, you're doing the stuff that you do on your own farm, so it's maybe difficult, but maybe the idea behind it is to start slow. So you start building your homestead and you start with something mobile first, stuff like that's the idea. So this is something, this is something that helps you understand the audience here. When they aspire to go into their homestead, build their own self-sustained living, they wonder how do they make this transition? And possibly this hints towards this transition. Oftentimes think about, maybe I start with a van only. I get some land, I put a van on there, I can start living there, or maybe just build a tiny house. And then I have enough time to slowly over the years build something bigger, something that I live in for the next 10 years or so, where of course a small home or a van wouldn't suffice there. So that is the thinking behind it. get into the mindset. You know, if you see these topics being really successful, and by the way, Indigo Escapes, I used the remakes link here. So what I basically did is remake the classics, the guided research, remake the classic. Feel free to go through these steps here. So I roughly do this with the tool right now. So get into the mindset of where are those viewers at? What are their interests? And if you find video topics that are successfully across many different channels, as you can see here, these are all, a good number of different channels, right? They had immense success with this topic area. So there's a reason to it. There's a reason why these channels, these videos were so successful. Apparently, they touched a nerve in the audience that is in that niche. So try to understand why. And of course, the next step to understand it, I just made a few assumptions, a few guesses, right? You have to figure it out in detail later. Just read the comments of those videos. Yeah, just read through all the comments. Yeah, maybe not all. If you read, let's say, 50 or 100, you already get a good feeling of how they respond. And yeah, oftentimes they already say the things that they are interested or why they are excited about the video in the comments itself. So once you go through all the comments from all those different videos, you will get an understanding why those videos were so successful. And that is, of course, for you a chance to think about your own video that also touches not necessarily on the same things that those videos here do, but touches on the same, excitement, why people wanted to watch this video. Yeah. And this is basically then the holy grail to dominate, browse and suggested. It's really finding the right video topics that viewers in your niche really crave. All right. I hope that helped, and let's go right into choosing the next one to review. Indigo Escape says, "I'm having a eureka moment, Nico." Super awesome. I'm so glad that you say that. It's it will take some time for me to explain everything. I just have this broad feeling of, this is a different kind of research that I thought barely anyone really knows, because it's usually done in consulting jobs or in online courses. But once I released this tool, I figured out many more teach this. Apparently, Daryl Eves teaches it. Paddy Galloway. Then I heard Channel Makers has an online course that teach this. Sunny Lenarduzzi had an online course that taught something along those lines. What else? A few more. I just don't have it at top of my head right now. So this is a proven technique, content planning technique that really works together with the browse and suggested algorithms. But it takes time to really understand it, because there needs to happen a certain mind shift. And I hope to really do that with this live stream a little bit more. And then over the coming months, I will release so many more videos to dive into all those different aspects. So it's great to see. Zane just asked before, how far do you go off the niche before you know it's too far for the algorithm? It is when you choose the channels that you put into your niche, always think about the viewer. Yeah, the algorithm thinks about the viewer as well. Yeah, and there's always crossover between niches. So the tool gives you a reflection of everything that the algorithm knows as well. So which are the related channels, but it doesn't know where to stop. Yeah, the algorithm itself also doesn't know where to stop. So the more you stray afar from related to related channels, the more you slowly get into different interests that viewers have. And at some points, you just say the interest that those viewers have now. For example, in my case, making money online is an example. This is a related niche of the YouTube's tips niche. And there's a channel, Make Money Matt, who explains how to make money with YouTube. He's still in there because YouTubers who want to grow their channels, they also want to make money. But then that Make Money Matt channel also has related channels that are purely in the make money online niche, where you don't just make money with YouTube, but you do some PayPal stuff or some Amazon fulfillment stuff, all the different kinds that you can do online. And this is not the same audience anymore. Yeah, always think about your audience. All right, so let's stop this. How does it work? Here, this button. I have to make it simpler. So let's quickly wait a little bit because we have some lag time here, so that everyone got a chance to get a review. Great to see you, Alexi. This bites for you. Keep continuing to grow. Awesome job. Real estate investing, how are you doing? Case creations, how are you doing? Grilling with Cleve, my digital marketing empire, how are you doing? Current mindset, Sunny, old friend, how are you doing? how is it in I think Scotland, right? Was Scotland. Reality gurus, how are you doing? Tatiana, how are you doing? Malta Networks, old friend. Tony as well. Rockcliffe, how are you doing, old friends? VIC, Video OPIC. You're quite new, right? Welcome to my channel. So now we should have everyone in this list now. Let's pick the next winner who I want to do a review for. All right, Kai's creation. Awesome. Let me check if you already have a Morningfame account. Then we could start with your existing niche, or otherwise we will just create a new one. Let's see. All right, you already have one, so let's use that. All right, so Kai's creation. Let's quickly get an impression of. So obviously Minecraft, right? My Forever Bedrock. I think that's the Minecraft variant, maybe. I'm not too familiar with Minecraft here. So tutorials, best potions for. So it's kind of a little bit of a how-to, right? So I see it's less about let's play, but more about wheat farm survival. I see. So how to do and these challenges, like how much TNT do you need in order to blow up this enemy here in Minecraft, right? So this is basically what you do here. By the way, a good idea to do those tutorials instead of just let's plays, which are of course countless let's plays there on YouTube. So it would be a tricky thing to start growing there. So Kai's creations. Let's see, where are you in the list? you are at the outside. So obviously the whole purpose of the tool is to get you little by little into the inner circle here. And let's see what you already selected. So when we Minecraft is a survival game, of course. And when you think about the audience here, it's again something where we have to think about the audience. There are countless Minecraft channels out there, and certainly more than you selected here, right? But in this Minecraft niche, you have different interests. Yeah, and I'm explicitly not talking about different kinds of videos there. I mean, I mentioned let's plays versus tutorials, how to get, the best farm and stuff like this. I'm talking about the interests because this is how the viewers perceive videos and the reasons why viewers watch certain videos over other videos. And this is in the end how the browse and suggested videos algorithms observes this as well. And if you do tutorials there, then the mindset is people want to get really good in the game. And sometimes a little bit trivia. We remember this funny thing like how much TNT do you need to blow up? I don't think that many will actually try that themselves, but rather watch it you do and have fun watching this at the same time, right? And by the way, this is probably a trending topic. Could it be? Let me know in the chat. Is a trending topic that other creators created as well. This is oftentimes a good idea, like these kind of Minecraft challenges, stuff like this, to repeat that, to capitalize on a hype that's going on currently. Whiskey Jason, how are you doing? Long time no see. And so let's see which ones you selected. So here are 47 Minecraft block facts. So mob facts. Oh, the 47 seems to be a recurring numbers. Ruin your friendships. These are shorts. Let's this is updates you need to know in the new version of Minecraft. So it's kind of a little bit in the trivia range, but also in the knowledge range, right? So it's interesting. You can already see kind of a difference between this content here and your own content. Your own content, let's remember, you're probably Kai's creations here, details. Your own content is about, a villager crop farm, stuff like this. I assume a very deep tutorial how to get it right? Mud farm, Warden Minecraft doesn't tell me much now. Obviously, I don't play Minecraft myself, so someone else playing Minecraft could tell that even better. A castle, Wither versus Warden, Bedrock, watch who wins. Yeah, this is the kind of entertainment stuff, but you're leaning more into the education, how to do something right in the game. And it's probably worth considering really understanding what kind of content those big channels make the most, because they are in the inner circle here for a reason and attract all those viewers from all those other channels. You see, like, how the magnet, like you can watch any of those channels that you selected here, and the chances high that YouTube's recommendations sooner or later recommend videos from that channel, right? So this is something they achieved for a reason, and I clearly see that it's more leaning to the trivia and entertainment stuff than the tutorial stuff, but it's from a perspective of whether to select or not this channel in your own niche, it's a good fit after all, because it is the knowledge stuff, right? You want to learn more about the intricate details of the game, like those who play the game for a very long time already, I assume, yeah? So that's what this channel was about. Somebody's Minecraft Hardcore. So, that's interesting. You know, you can split the audience between beginners players or those advanced players who grind the game for years already, maybe, yeah? So obviously all those channels cater to those Minecraft grinders, those who are big fans of the game. This is also a little bit trivia, right? Bugs in the game. But sometimes people who play it, I mean, it's like in all games, they use bugs from time to time to achieve certain things that, even the developer maybe not intended to be possible, but the community figures it out nonetheless. About new items, every new feature, right? Farm everything. Yeah, you are really thinking about those people who are long time in the game. I start to understand which audience you try to attract here. Man, this is really well chosen what you did here with these different channels, right? Yeah, updates coming soon. I mean, beginners aren't interested in the updates that are coming soon. There's so much in Minecraft that you don't really need an update to start playing the game. So there's also those people who play it for years already. Design builds, survival, so a few builds. Interesting. Yeah, basically I would say you chose it really well, and respect to you that you also managed to do that with only a few channels. I mean, look at the number of channels. You could easily add 1,000 channels in regards to Minecraft, but you seem to have added channels that are all for players who play the game for a long time, but want to squeeze out a little bit more about the game. You know, some glitches, knowing all the updates, those special purposes stuff. Although I assume when we go back to your own channel, when you're talking about a mud farm, for example, I'm not too sure about that, but it seems to me like this is at most an intermediate topic. Yeah. So maybe this is worth considering, that you think about more. How long do those people play the game already? What kind of audience do you try to attract? And maybe steer towards more those people who grind it for years already. I can't really say whether you're already doing it now or not, because I would need to know Minecraft much better. So anyway, sounds like a good choice. And let's see real quick, just to see, because if you have selected the channels right, then you can also see patterns here in those videos that they uploaded, all those channels, quite easily. So new features is obviously something talked a lot about, but not all of that are burner videos. You see burners are just a few of those. Let me switch this over so you see better what I'm doing here. The releases, pre-releases. Yeah, people are excited about those releases, certainly. You can see here more of those videos are burner videos. So this is kind of something, if you cover that on your channel, there's even a higher chance to succeed with that. Interesting, there's a frog guide, frog lights per hour. Is there something newly released about that? Yeah. Maybe if you Interesting. So make sure, certainly, what we can already see. I mean, also by those channels that before, when we looked in the other tab into those channels, if there is something new released in the game, always talk about it, because that's certainly something that people want to know. Okay, that's not hunting for allies. That seems to be a certain figure in the game, but that's not particularly impressive. Let's see, cancelled update. You know, here, for example, that's kind of interesting here. If you look at that, cancelled features, cancelled update. We already learned that somehow the audience wants to find out about new features in the game, and then also watch videos for pure entertainment purposes. Let's remember, for example, your TNT video where you for trivia purposes want to know how much TNT you need in order to, blow up the certain enemy that probably has a huge number of health points and it's difficult to blow it up. But here, it's natural that people have the idea to talk about cancelled features. And when we look at videos that talk about cancelled features, none of them, even though they are in the inner circle and have a big audience, and they could very well branch off their own topic without, having a large audience there on other channels interested in the same topic. Anyway, none of them are burners. So it would make sense if you're thinking about what kind of video topics could you do for your audience, then it would make sense to talk about cancelled features. Yeah? Why not? People want to know trivia about the game, details about the game. Features are always interesting to them that we already learned. But cancelled features, none of those videos succeeded. So those channels tried out the topic, and the audience that is in that niche said like, nope, I'm not really interested. Let me skip this video. Otherwise, if many people would have been interested, then you would have seen burner videos marked here. So just as a little taste of how well you could then figure out what kind of topics really would make sense for them. I hope that helped. I hope that helped. Let us quickly go right into let me know if you want to get a review. Say a review in the chat and I will pick the next one randomly. Interesting. The Minecraft niche. I mean, Minecraft is really tough to grow in there. But I could already, just by these few minutes I looked at it, get a feel of what kind of topics work better than the others. Yeah. And this is really the key here. If you figure out which topics really work well, and then of course, as the next step, do the very best video that you can about that topic, then you can rise to the top more quickly. And especially in a Minecraft niche where so many channels are out there, you just have a competitive advantage. It's just like that. And I know that it is practiced by many experts. And even when I taught my friend in a cooking niche, which is also very competitive, she grew from zero with just planning the videos, Just the choice of videos made her suddenly skyrocket. The tutorials that I think have linked in the description that I released the last 2 videos. I mentioned this case there. Loreen, how are you doing? Digital Life, how are you doing? Shadow Twerk Tarot, how are you doing? You're new to the channel. Welcome. Marvin, how are you doing? Psy Shiners, how are you doing? New too, right? Foxfire Gaming, how are you doing, old friend? Techie Patzala, how are you doing? Kyle, how are you doing? Awesome to have you on here. So maybe now it's also your a chance to get a review as well. Let me quickly close all this, and let me turn that off so that we can wait so that all people's review requests come in. Ulrike, how are you doing, by the way? I'm currently still familiarizing myself. My question. Unfortunately, I can't find enough suitable German channels or videos in my niche. Does it make sense to search in other languages? Yeah, good idea. Certainly, what you could do is, as you know, in the niche tool, you can create multiple niches here, right? I created video editing, for example, because it's a related niche, for example. And do create one, via this manage niches link. Do create one for the English-speaking world in particular. I'm sure you will find more channels there. Because oftentimes it's really the case that the interests that audiences have are in the end the same. These are the same people. And oftentimes German, I think you're a German. So German people can speak English and they watch the English channels anyway. So create a separate niche just for the English channels. Start with I bet you already know a few large channels that are in the same niche as you are in the English space. Just add manually 2-3 channels, large channels in the English Ferienwohnung Verkauf, Vermietung, right? So add them to the tool, and then you will have a queue to go through channels one by one again in order to build that up. And then if you find a very successful video topic there, just do it in German. Yeah, the chance is really high that that it will be successful in the German market as well. All right, let's see who's next. So, all right, Kali Culture, thanks for explaining that, helping out here a little bit. All right, Azazel. Sorry, I'm butchering your name. Azazel Gaming, maybe. All right. Do you have a Morningfame account already? Then we will use that for the review, or otherwise we will create a new one. I think it would be great to have someone who doesn't have a Morningfame account yet, and you don't do. So this time, this gives me a chance to actually create a new niche. So here in the tool, you can analyze many different niches. Let me quickly archive a few. So it was Azazel Gaming, and here we just add your channel. Azazel Gaming. I misspelled. So, okay, now you're in the center of the name. So we should do it right? Okay. All right, let's see. What is your channel about? So obviously it's gaming. And you are cyberpunk. I don't know which one this one is. Which game is it? The Witcher 3? Is it all The Witcher 3? Let me know in the comments. No recipes. Have a good night. I'll certainly do more about that stuff. There's so much more to tell, right? So, Cyberpunk 2077. So you play a few different games. Awesome. Okay. Let's try that. Let's see. It's now a little bit tricky because I don't know the games too much. Let me see if I can create the niche. So the tool has the related channels here, which are 3 and CDPR games. Help me out here. What is a CDPR game? I don't even have an idea. So, okay, these 2 games, Witcher 3, Great Escape, Prisma, Let's Free Everyone. So it is kind of a vlog here in this sense. Big question, whether you're doing, that's kind of how do you talk to those people? What kind of interest do you attract? Judy is cute. So talking about the certain characters here. The Village Sunrise, Warrior Sisters, the weapons. So you're talking about those. Yeah, you're showing how great the game is in a sense, right? That's interesting. Okay, cool. Witcher and Cyberpunk. So obviously, this is kind of more of a vlog. And the interesting thing is they uploaded just 1 video a month ago and 6 years ago, Witcher. So let's ignore this channel because it's kind of dormant or shifted the niche recently. So we certainly have The Witcher. I mean, we can clearly see the main character here. By the way, great Netflix show. The kids are so cute. God of War, so that's different game. Witcher, Wild Hunt. It's a lot about The Witcher. So yeah, I would say this is probably one channel that we could add. And here we go. So slowly we'll build up the niche here. Interesting. Now we have a much bigger channel. Witcher 3. Sport before. 7 years details you missed in the endings of Witcher 3. Is kind of big fans of the game. You yourself are also talking about, what is great about the game. So it's not standard gameplay. It's not standard tutorials for new people. It's really like long-time fans, it seems. Missed in Witcher 3. Interesting. So it's kind of trivia in this sense, yeah, about the game. Let's add this channel too. And the game is even better than the Netflix show. Wow. I mean, that means something. I should check it out. So what do we have? Neon Knight. His Witcher 3, 10 choices. Witcher 3. It's interesting. This channel, interesting. This channel only, as you can see here, it's cut off after 15 videos. Normally the tool shows 20 videos. That means this channel only uploaded 15 videos and already achieved almost 40,000 subscribers. So that means that they chose the topics well. You can also see like how more catchy those thumbnails are. He fooled us all. Don't Take the Lamp, This Never Happened, Hidden Tunnel, something that, figuring out some stuff that is, kind of secret, something that you definitely want to miss. Take this channel as an example. It's really interesting how they do it. Even though it's still the same thing, it's kind of trivia, for the game. So here we have Fallout, Mass Effects. That's not a game that belongs here. Here we have Elden Ring quite a lot, a little bit of Witcher. If you have a channel that does the same game in this case, or same topics that you do, just a little bit, but mostly covers other stuff, it's a good idea to ignore it, because otherwise the research will be, there will be many videos in your research that are not on topic that you would never create on your channel as well. So it's a good idea to filter out those channels here. And here we can also see, like, these are mostly other games. Let's see where we can continue. Next big thing, nobody plays. So this also sounds like different games. Gaming, this is, no. Here we have, this is Red Dead Redemption. It's also not, don't have many channels here for those games. Interesting. Are those games not as famous anymore? It's weird that so many unrelated channels show up here. Which, by the way, also tells us that people who play Witcher, because we have quite a few Witcher channels in here. I know you play in the second game as well, but we focus currently mostly on Witcher 3. Is you can easily see here which other games they play. So if you ever decide to start playing another game, Red Dead Redemption 3, I think it's called, right? It's something that you could consider picking up because it's close in the interest that people have. Here we have, doesn't look too good as well. Variety of different games. What do we have here? Devil, Witcher 3. This is the rarest, whatever, I can't pronounce this. You likely missed in Witcher 3. It's kind of, and here we have Cyberpunk as well. You play Cyberpunk too. This is a good channel, yeah. So let's add a few so that we get a little bit of content to work with later in the next research step. Sounds like, is this Witcher 2 as well? No, Skyrim. So let's go ahead. Here we have a little bit of Witcher. Cyberpunk, nice. Let's continue with that. Just to build up a little bit here real quick. Here we have Witcher as well. And this kind of, let's add them. And it's weird that the thumbnails are so dark and all that stuff. Different games. And let's add 2 more. Witcher 3, Overwatch. It's kind of something. Elden Ring. It doesn't sound like it. This is small channel. Let's keep it out for now. Usually you would add small channels as well, because small channels can figure out what audience really watches or want to watch as well, right? I mean, everyone in the niche is trying to figure out which video topics work the best, right? So there's no reason to not add small channels, but just to have more content here, because I don't fully fill out the niche for you right now. So here we have a little bit of Cyberpunk here. Cool. So we have a little bit of Cyberpunk. Okay, that's good for now. So we have a few channels here that play the same game. Let's see if we can understand a little bit more about the audiences. Let's start with the remakes. Maybe New Dawn, New Business, New. No, that's not tips. Tips you wish you know early. Which, yeah. Assassin's Creed, that is not related. Witcher's tips you know before you start. Tips in Witcher. It's interesting here. This one and this one, these two videos here, they're all about, tips that, the experienced people have that they want to give the new players, right? So that is certainly something that here we have. I wish I knew earlier in Witcher. Here we have a third video. Yeah, so we clearly have a pattern here. Things that they wish they knew earlier, and these are all most popular videos. So this is maybe something that you could consider creating on your channel as well. I know you go in a little bit of a different area. Yeah, you want to show them the beautifulness of the games mostly. So I don't know whether that's a good choice for you, but here you can clearly see a certain video topic that works really well. Yeah. This has only 140 videos, so it seems that this channel didn't upload many videos yet. Okay, and that's the reason why it's selected here. But here you have 500,000 views both, which is crazy. This is a good idea to probably consider doing as well. Let's see, Ciri and Geralt. This is apparently a character which is very beloved here. So maybe talking about her, you're talking about different characters as well, right? I saw that you do it with your recent videos quite a lot. So consider doing a video about Ciri, for example. School, let's see what this is. School, cat school. Yeah, I don't really know what to make of it, quite frankly, because I don't know the game details. Wild Hunt, hidden gems. Back, yeah, it's official. That's not very helpful yet. This kind of research doesn't really help that much oftentimes when you only have a few channels added yet. So let's see if we can find a few more things. Here we have, oh, that's interesting with the Wild Hunt. Just most popular, breathtaking. Well, it's taking quite a lot of time now to understand here a little bit more, but we can see telling stories here is probably one area where you can go. I saw that earlier in the one channel that it's quite something about storytelling. Yeah, telling. In gaming you can always do that as well, right? Not necessarily playing the game itself, but telling stories inside the game. So the game is basically the canvas that you use in order to tell stories. Maybe that's an idea that you could do. But we clearly saw like a certain characters. Ciri we saw was something that people are interested in generally. Is that in your character? Yeah, most popular videos do well. And here we have, recently it didn't do too well here, but since you could go through all the different characters, type that into the tool here and see which different characters are very interesting to them. I mean, Geralt is certainly the main character, I think, right? This guy here probably produces quite a number of burners here, but it's something people talk a lot about. So you have other videos as well to understand, which characters are interested to them, and then based on that, create videos. That probably is the idea. I hope this helped a little bit. Let's go straight right into this and let me know a review in the comments, and this way I will pick the next one randomly. And yeah, so yeah, welcome Kay. Welcome Kay. You're welcome. So a few questions while we have, is there a way to clear your niche in the prototype and start again? George, by the way, how are you doing? Yes, there is. If you go here and manage niches, clear all, yeah, then you can clear it out. Or of course, you can always create new niches, duplicate a niche, archive them, basically everything is possible there. Philip, if your niche is really tiny, then try to, when you go through the queue of related channels, then the way how the tool discovers those channels, that they show you one after the other, and where you decide whether to add it to your niche or ignore it. This is based on YouTube's recommendations. And that means that if a channel shows up there, the chance is high that audiences who watch the channels that you already added to your niche, the chance is high that they also watch these other channels, even though they are not necessarily exactly like the same that you produce. There are some very big channels, oftentimes TED, for example, these TED Talks show up there as well. It's not because these are huge channels that cater to a very general audience. So that's the reason why they show that up there from time to time as well. I don't mean those, but those that are kind of related. Yeah, you will quickly see those. And this way you can understand, like, in which direction do people's interest go as well. I mean, in my YouTube tips niche, for example, it's not just growing YouTube channels. You can go in the direction to grow on other social media sites as well. Or video editing, which is an interest that all creators have as well, naturally, because they have to edit their videos, right? Or when they are mostly interested to use YouTube to earn money, then they are probably interested into earning money with other means, not just YouTube as well. So these are all related niches, and you will see channels of related niches showing up there. And try to figure out what of those niches are probably interesting for you as well. Because if your niche is too small, then it's probably a good idea to broaden your view and try to decide to go more broad with your with your content to cater to a larger audience. Maybe that's of help. Azazel Gaming, I'm glad that it helped you a bit. Yeah. All right. Shadow Twerk Tarot. Yeah, feel free to create as many niches as you want, and try to figure out. I mean, if you, yeah, it's even for one channel. It's always a good idea to test out different niches. Same for you, Philip. The question that I just answered, right? If you are not sure which niche to go into yet, create a separate niche in the tool and flesh out the separate niches with the channels that are related in a related niche, and then do a little bit of analysis and find out, are there successful video topics in that niche that you would be motivated to cover as well. And in regards to your tarot channel, the same thing. Try out different things, and even if you want to start a new channel or so, you can use the same account and analyze any niche you want that might be interested to you. Yeah, good idea. Good question, Zane. But quickly before I answer that, let's find out the next winner here. Pick a winner. Let's see who's next. Zane, the channels your audience watches in YouTube Studio is quite similar to how the tool here uses it. Stephen Walters, it's your turn. I'll check if you have a Morningfame account, then we'll use that. Otherwise, we create a new niche. So what basically you were asking here, let me quickly go here. Open that, and yeah, Stephen has his own niche created already. Just for your interest, yeah. Here in the tool, that's still for my account. I created channels my audience watches. Yeah. Here I actually added all the channels without the related channels that the tool offers. Just used this. Yeah. So just quickly. I don't know which info it shows, so let's hide it real quick. So let's go here. If you are in the analytics, right, and you go through to the audience tab, then you see a list of channels here. So the list of channels that you see here will be shown by the Morningfame tool as well, and even more. Yeah, it's a similar approach here, and for a good reason. The channels that you see here will naturally show up with the tool when you use it as well. Yeah. So what I did here, I think it's still the exact same list as I did it a week ago or so. I'd added those here, and it's interesting to see when you just add those channels that YouTube shows, because those channels definitely have a big overlap in your actual audience. The view that you create here with all the channels in your niche is not necessarily an overlap of the audience, because I have just a small audience of reaching a small audience from the whole niche here. Many viewers in this niche don't ever watch my channel. Yeah, they watch more those in the inner circles. So we have an absolute view here, but it's also a good idea just to try it out for once. Just adding those channels here that this analytics tool YouTube tells you, because these are the channels that we have actual audience overlap, and then do some kind of analysis here. Just go through those videos, select burners, and then figure out, you know what is like right on the nose here when you do this kind of research, is that all those channels produce videos that are small tips, things that you can do right away, like the best camera, or how to create good titles, stuff like this. All that stuff that they can quickly implement on their channels, and that tells you, what content you should create as well. So anyway, so this is kind of a very focused view on your particular channel with the particular audience you already have right now. But usually we go a more wholesome view where you add many more channels like these to get a complete picture of the successful video topics. Okay, but let's go. Too many buttons here. Stephen Walters, next review. So your channel is, let's see, Stephen. Your channel, what is it about? So it's time to start writing. Quick writing tips. Yeah, we have a business success channel in a sense, yeah. Verbal communication, public speaking, yeah, writing, public speaking, not saying I bet in this stream you can't count the I already said anymore. Stop swearing, yeah, that's a good idea. Listening, hearing, listening steps, improve your communication skills. I see. Okay, communication skills in public speaking, in writing, mostly public speaking, it seems. Yeah, your most popular videos, by the way. Teach diversity. Okay, yeah, awesome. Fear public speaking. Just vocabulary. Could it be that you switched niches a little bit? Yeah, teach English vocabulary, power words, stuff like this, tongue twisters, I see. And nowadays go more into the public speaking, how you present yourself, stuff like this. It's seemingly kind of, you adjusted the way you go. Interesting. Anyway, we have a good understanding of your niche, I assume. So let's see what you can make on it. Charisma on command. Yeah, obviously. This is luckily an area that I know a little bit better than those games that we had before, which I unfortunately didn't play yet. So he's certainly, charisma on command is all about, speaking better. TEDx talks. I'm not sure whether I would add TEDx here. Yeah, because TEDx speaks to a very, very broad audience. I know TED and TEDx are about public speaking, but it's less about, they teach how to do proper communication, right? TEDx don't teach it. There are, of course, a few talks every now and then that cover public speaking as well. But this is a broad audience. The niche that you create is always about, you're finding the one audience that all those channels have in common that you try to address and you want to try address more of, right? So I'm currently in your account, so you will see it saved, what I do here later on when you access your Morningfame account. Let me quickly archive something. No worries. The archive won't destroy any of your data. You can later, restore it real quick. Yeah, so no worry that I screw up your account. I duplicate your niche. Yeah, this niche copy, and then I mess around in there. So feel free to archive and delete it later if you don't like it. But this is kind of a cleanup that I do a little bit here. TEDx Talks speaks to a very broad audience. This does not really help you in your research later. So let me remove it from my niche copy. Yeah, the charisma on demand is certainly something that fits well in there. So did you still learning how to add the niches right? All right. I hope this helps you then. Let me see. The question is a little bit public speaking and learning English vocabulary. Yeah, this is really two different audiences there. Are you learning to speak proper English at the moment, or is it, public speaking is a more advanced? It's not just the language level, but it's the use of the language in a more advanced way. Public speaking. So these are different types of audiences that you address here. But so my recommendation here would be, even if you are really catering to both audiences, which are two different things. Yeah, if you just want to learn the language or you want to get better at public speaking, Many public speakers don't need to learn English because their native language is English or already. And people who want to learn the language itself don't necessarily want to do public speaking or write large essays or something like that. Maybe they just want to learn the English language so that they want to go study abroad, so to for example, and need to get freshen up their English, right? So it is really here in this case that it would be probably a good idea to split up those niches into 2 niches in the tool so that your research later in the second tab becomes much better. But let's keep that for now. I see that accurate English, that's certainly good. Speak confident English, okay. And this fits as well. Comfort zone, this is more public speaking, I think. Again, polite yet firm communication skills, yeah. So here we have a channel again from the other niche, yeah. Basically, or the different kind of audience, even though there's certainly an overlap here, but it's really 2 different audiences. Interview mistakes, getting a job offer, after COVID, that's something very, very different as well. That's interesting. If you want to teach people how to speak English properly, then the reason why they want to learn the English language better has different purposes. I mean, if they are applying for a job abroad, then they need the English language to be good at the job interview, right? And then they are obviously also interested in the in the tips, like you see here with the how to do this job interview right? So we have a third interest here. It's kind of convoluted. I'm sorry. Here we have productive convenience. No one coming safe. Anders goals, achievement status. Why did you add that? That's really speaking to a very, very different audience. Okay, yeah. Okay. No critique here. Of course, this is the purpose why I do this live stream. Yeah, to really understand, how to do it right. So let's clean it up a bit. I mean, this is certainly a channel is about motivation, setting goals, success in business, for example. This is totally different niche. You could decide to go there, but it really, from the looks of it, that's not where you are at. You're in communication, public speaking, learning the English language, so let's remove him. We already looked at that channel, and don't wanna what to do with my hands, standing, talking, and dancing. That's a kind of public speaking here as well. Strategic thinking, how make people laugh, real life story, own story. Did you know? Mirroring, I think this is okay. This is communication skill, like body language, secret science behind interactions. Okay, body language. Oh, I see. She seems to be a lot about body language. Okay, this is communication skills. Let's see. Abundance vocabulary. This is English again. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Stephen, what do you prefer? Do do you want to go into the communication, public speaking, communication skills in general, or rather English? Let's decide that. Non-verbal communications, yeah, body language, non-verbal, yeah, perfect. Because then it's a different thing. Let me know. So because I'll clean it up a little bit then, yeah. Rather English, learning English, or rather communication skills. Career. Career, that was the same thing as we had before, so let's clean that out as well. I just decided for you that the career path is not your niche anymore. Of course, you are always free to go there. Start a business. Yeah, this is also the career path. I see. You're basically mixing in here 3 different niches. The career thing, job interview, success in a career, then the English speaking, then the communication skills. So you could create different niches for that in the tool and analyze that separately. Advanced English words, English conversations, verbal communications. Of course, you need to have the English language for that. No doubt about that. But the question is, what audience do you speak to? Do you speak to language learners, or do you speak to people who want to develop their advanced communication skills? It's really 2 stages in there. Of course, I saw that many videos talk about the vocabulary, the advanced vocabulary that you need in order to really develop advanced public or advanced communication, because having a more sophisticated language, kind of, yeah. I see where you're coming from, but the question is, do those audiences see it the same way? In the end, it's all about the audience, yeah. And you want to analyze what they crave, want to know. It's less about what you think that they need. It's more about what they think they need, yeah. There's 2 different things. And our analysis here go into this, the audience point of view. That is speaking skills. Yeah. So this sounds good here. Leadership lectures, your life as a hero journey, skills, unfair. I think this is business again. Let's remove that. And then we have English. We already looked at that. And here we have start talking. Yeah, this is communication skills and improve your voice. Okay, that's interesting. This is kind of interesting to see. Yeah. Here yet you have opened, I don't know if you see it. Here you have someone in the outer circle. Let's real quick show him in the circle diagram here. Here you have yet another type of channel. When we look at this, it's all about the voice. Yeah, having a better sounding voice. Yeah, this is a practice by itself. And of course, for public speaking, having a good voice is good. Yeah, but depending on where you're at, it's kind of, it's not a core topic. Yeah, and you can already see that what the tool does here with the you see charisma on command, for example, is attracting audiences from all those different channels. He is truly in the center of this circle here, but he is only, even though he is at 145k subscribers, yeah, 145k. It's also written here. he is only connected to this channel or attracting audience from this channel. This is already telling us that this, despite being a large channel, is not really integrated into the niche so much. Yeah, it's a related niche. People who watch all those channels rarely discover his channel. So this again is something, if you want to go into the voice improvement niche, yeah, feel free to open a different niche here and analyze this here as well. But for your analysis, you need to add channels that all cater to the same audience. Yeah. And this is a different audience, although with a little bit of overlap here, I'm sure. Let's remove that because that's really not the core audience anymore. And if you clean it up like this, we still have these two topics here since we didn't decide, which I really would like to split up as well, is once you have only added channels that cater to the same audience, only then the analysis in the second tab will become helpful. Because the goal is, of course, to detect patterns here. And let's go through this. Let's, for example, do the remakes here. Language, body language. Body language is something that, let's enter that here, body language as both. Here we have a lot of popular videos about body language, for example, and we see this all the same channel, of course, but we have it from the other channels as well as very successful videos. So suddenly, since obviously all are in a sense the same, in the same communication skills niche, now when you do this analysis, you can see that across channels, certain video topics work particularly well. Yeah. This one, and then let's pick one of this channel. She already did quite a number of videos there. Let's do the number 3 most popular. So now we have a pattern here, and let's see if we can find even more variety in present body language of attraction. Yeah. This is also from the same channel, of course. So we can now look at these channels and these videos, read the comments, understand why those were so successful, and that is a good video topic for you as well. Yeah, that's the idea behind it. So it's very important. Yeah, in order to find those channels, it's very important to understand to whom those channels are speaking here. Yeah. And once you collected those channels in a consistent way, feel free to, of course, go into the business success with the job interviews and entrepreneurship that you had in there as well as a separate niche. Or if you want the voice coaching, because, a voice coaching, I just remember, is really a different niche there. Because voice coaching is good for good public speaking. Yeah, if you want to make a very impactful TED talk, yeah, then having a good voice is, of course, one part of being impactful. Yeah, it has and it makes an impression. But also a good voice, many singers want to have. And by this one voice channel that we stumbled upon here, let's see, improve your voice. I think I even know him. Yeah. I once watched his videos, and he's also about singing. Could it be? Angelina's voice. It's actors. So celebrities, actors at least, yeah. And obviously, since it's about actors, this is also the thinking here. It is yet entirely a different audience. Public speakers, actors, singers, yeah. Who do you talk to? And depending on how do you decide, You go into different areas. You make different videos about different topics. And it's important to collect those channels that really are the audience that you want to already attract at the moment, and want to attract further more people like those in the future. And that's the purpose here. All right, I hope this helped. So we adjusted a few things. For the next review, let me know in the chat. I will pick the next one to review. Let's see. Yeah, in the meantime, did we have here? Great to see a few old friends. Mike, Larry, how are you doing? iPhone filmmaking, welcome to the channel. You're new, right? Poster boy, I think we chatted, right? About your poster channel before. Prosper Comic, how are you doing? Gringo Nation, how are you doing? And Tiffany, long time no see, I think, or recently did we chat? I can't exactly remember, but good to have you here. Put the shovel down. How you doing? Terrace Music. Great to see you as well. Blind guy, his wife, their life. How are you doing? El Economica, Mr. YouTuber. Okay. How are you doing? El Jefe. Guisop. How are you doing? Great to have you now here on as well. So in the meantime, we had a few questions. Should you add a real-life channels to the niche? iRacing simulation versus real-life races. Sizzling Popcorn, a good question. So you're basically a gaming channel for racing, right? I wouldn't add real-life racing there. This is, again, like we just discussed with the public speaking channel or with Steven's channel. This is a different audience. Of course, there are some people who are interested in racing games as well as racing in real life, your Formula One and stuff like this, right? But not all of them. But you could, of course, create a separate niche in Morningfame, analyze the real life racing as well, and get inspired for new video topics there as well. Because chances are, if a certain video topic works well in the real life racing, that you could replicate the same thing in the simulation game as well. Yeah. There are advanced strategies, of course, if you have something in the news about the real life gaming, that you pick it up in the game itself and the hype comes over to the simulation racing as well. But you have to be really knowledgeable to get it right there, because we are really talking about two different audiences there. But if it's all about something that not is something about a recent trend or about particular racers in real life, then or rather about certain very difficult race tracks, for example. I bet the real life racing talks about the Nürburgring quite a lot, and you do in the racing game probably as well, if it's a realistic racing game and you have the Nürburgring there as well. And then you could borrow stuff like this. But really, you have to know how to do it right. So keep your niche, your own niche in the simulated racing for your game, and then create a separate niche for the real life gaming racing, and this way you might discover some topics that you could use. But keep in mind, this is a fully different audience, and hence proceed with caution, so to say. So what did we have? Deux roues en tente, no job for life. You just started using Morningfame. Great that you joined. It's always great to have new people on there. Again, we just discussed the different niches. Try them out. Check out different niches if you're not sure which one fits you the most. And then do a little bit of the analysis in the second step, like we just did for the other channels, to see what you can uncover. And you will quickly see that if you found the right niche and defined the channels in there well, that suddenly the patterns emerge, that certain video topics work really well across channels, and you're motivated right away to do that on your own channel as well. And this is when the point in time when you realized you have arrived at a good configuration of the tool, definition of your niche, and the insights are flowing in. Stillkinder, you basically think about the audience, to summarize, choosing the right channels for your niche. You think about the audience. Who are you attracting? What interests do they have? And then choose the channels to speak to the same audience. It's not about their content, really. It's really the channels are a lens through which you see their audience. Depending on what video topics they cover, you can understand what probably their audience is. And you always think about, is it the same audience that you want to attract as well? And, this past review was a very good example to understand, like, even though the topics are similar or related, it's suddenly going towards different audiences. And Raphael, so let's quickly end this and wait for the channels to collect. Raphael, going through my niches while watching this, so informative. Thank you. You are very welcome. George, do you add foreign languages channels into your niche or stick to your native language, in your case, English? Yes, don't add foreign languages to your own niche. I did this as well. Anyway, for the YouTube tips niche, I only added the English speaking channels, but I then created a separate niche for the German speaking channels, for example. Also YouTube tips, same content, but in German, because in the second step, you will do text analysis for the video titles. And if you have mixed languages in there, it will be getting quite tricky. So it's a good idea to separate out different niches, at the same niche in different language separately, look at them separately, analyze them separately, and you can quickly switch between those niches. So it's not a hassle at all. But then you have a little bit more clear cut, a bit easier to analyze those niches because you do a lot of text analysis in there. And so it's a good idea to create a niche for each language that you are happy to analyze. Tatiana, Nico, could you please show how to build a niche for something which is only a part of an existing channel? Can we start with an individual video? How do we start? This is quite a particular question. In short, you can add large channels in that particular niche that you know of, and then start building from there, rather than starting from your own channel, where, of course, if only part of it is some videos are on the topic that you want to study, you will get related channels that are rather not only about that topic that you want to analyze. So add channels manually, big channels that are only about that part that you want to study, and then the queue that will get created will better understand what you are looking for, and then go from there. So in between answering some more questions, let's pick the next winner. All right, let's see. You're welcome, Stillkinder. So Firefox Gaming, there is an option to clear the niche. Just go to the Manage Folders. All right, Vinny, it's your turn. Awesome. Here, Manage Folders, Manage Niches, and here you can clear, you can create new niches, all that stuff is in there. You can do this. And let's see if you have, Vinny, I think you have a Morningfame account, so we could go from there. So, copy. So, all right. Open. Okay. Let me close here everything. Okay. All right. All right. Here we go. So here, Vinny, we have his channel here, just to give you an idea what his channel is about. So yeah, it's about men topic. I already know that a little bit. It's kind of if you want to sum it up, I hope I don't say it right, but yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky topic. I don't know how to really explain it, but men in their role, and how to the men's role in society, maybe could I say that? So it's it's opinion channel, so to say. Let's see how you define the niche. So here we have the better bachelor. First, marry myself is okay. Women going their own way. And I think, sounds a little bit, sounds good. I'm not challenged by men avoiding marriage. Toxic relationships, maybe. Relationships. Okay, I see. I have a little bit of difficulties. You're very welcome, Kara, creatively. Men issues, exactly. Okay, it's country music. It's the hot debate about, Vox did a documentary. I married an ugly man tattoos. Yeah, it's it's this kind of in the gossip area a little bit. Like gossip is maybe the wrong word, but going into this direction, the conversion with okay. This is I see. Yeah. It sounds a little bit like I have difficulty to define the niche a little bit, but it's kind of I really have difficulties to to tell what it really is. Men's issues. I see. It's kind of the concept from looking at it is clear, but I can't put it into words. But it sounds like you defined it really well. So let's see if we can analyze it a little bit, just to get a idea how that works, right? And Raphael, max number of channels. If you have 150 or more, then you probably have not defined your niche clearly enough. This is kind of around the 100 channel mark is probably the most common one. Splitting up the niche when you go above 150 is a good idea. Then, okay, let's see. Let's see the remake. No, that's not very helpful here. Let's see if we can see trends, for example. So pre-chord, yeah, of course. I mean, you don't need a tool for that, but the whole mess that's currently going on with the Supreme Court right now in the US is certainly a trending topic right now. And the tool, I mean, you just have to open this, and the first thing you already see that everyone is talking about it. Although I have to say, it's not really often a burner. It's weird, even though, yeah, I mean, there's good views in there. So certainly talking about this these days is a good idea. Crazy ex-girlfriend, this show on Netflix, Crazy Passengers, okay. Roe, certainly, I mean, it's the same case. Roe versus Wade is the same thing. Clown show. This is, interesting. Look at that, for example. You're having your own lens on your channel, right? So men's issue, yeah. Again, I can't really tell what it exactly is, but as you can see here, for example, show, yeah, woke drag show, complete clown show. I mean, this is not really a show. This is how they call it. What happens there, I assume. Shows woman modern showing. No, this is not the show. Men show up. This is my show. It's not really a TV show in this sense. Okay. I was a little bit misled. I quickly got the impression that talking about certain shows and discussing them with your opinions would be a good idea. But this is different types of ways they used shows. Best friend, my friend need help. His my friend. Okay, interesting. Mind. Changed his mind, loses her mind. Party. Party. Mix us party, go party, our party. It's not. Yeah, it's not very, very helpful right now. This one, ghosted, broke, exposed. This is not. Yeah, not for a quick analysis here. Let's see what we have as burners, for example. I clear the filter. And then basically here the guided high traffic evergreen show, that these steps that I start doing. You can do it later yourself if you want. My ex tracked me down. They're meeting on toxic masculinity. Forcing. Going on DNA test. This sounds a little bit like reactions to things that happened sometimes. Here, for example, this one, right? this. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult now to. Yeah, seems seems a little bit something that enrages people. Yeah, talking about that. I really have difficulties to figure out to really understand what the audience is about. Yeah, it seems generally speaking their emotions get stirred up by certain events, certain behaviors. Yeah, and yeah, MG. I don't even know what this word is about. Word is about, but it seems here this is a big topic here. What is this? What is this? Men going their own way. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. I see. This is maybe I heard about it. Those do decide to actively decide not to marry, maybe. Yeah, living without women. I mean, yeah. Yeah, social commentary. That's a good point. But you see here, for example, this is a big one. Yeah, there are many burner videos out there when you talk about this men going their own way, for example, right? I mean, it's you see that across channels. If you cover that, it's quite a lot. There are many other videos out there that were not successful about this. But what you can do, since there are so many very successful videos here, it's maybe half of them or so. So there's a high chance if you cover that as well, then pick a few of those videos that are successful here. For example, this one, this is a different channel. Here we have this. We have repeating from the same creator, right? Sandman is covering that a lot. Casual Bachelor that we had as well. Okay, now we have from the 3 different channels that had burners videos in there. So what you could do here is basically to watch those videos, see the comments, understand why these videos were very successful, and then do your own video on that topic with your own opinion, of course, since your social commentary, you like this definition, yeah, then do your own commentary on, your take on this movement, yeah, in here. And this could make successful videos then with a good chance. All right, I hope that helps. As you saw, I was a little bit struggling here with this channel. Kind of, yeah. Sometimes, you have to know the audience. And since I'm not really consuming content in this area, gaming, for example, even if I don't play this game, I know the concept of gaming. And in the end, it's really about knowing the audience and then figuring out patterns, what they really crave, right? And certainly these different movements, I'm sure you know of more than the men going their own way movement. Then you can check all those different movements in the tool, type it in, and see if there are many burner videos recently. And this way find probably even more videos about that. All right, let's go straight into the next review. I start my tool to collect the channels, leave review in the chat, and this way, you get a chance to get the next review. And in the meantime, By the way, great to see you, Mo. The home boss, you're new, right? Welcome to my channel. Same to Ayana, Maria, Malaika, how are you doing? Snake Cake Exotics. Cake. Could use some cake now. Navy Royal, Le Portugal de Lunas. Awesome to have you all in here. Oh, barbecue. I'm getting hungry. Vaughn Sanders, how are you doing? Okay, let's see. While we are taking in the review requests here, let's see. Zane, I think the challenge is seeing your audience from their perspective. I feel blind without this tool. Awesome. Yeah, you know, it is really what I'm doing here, yeah, with the tool, defining your niche and all that. I heard when I released this tool, I heard quite a number of people asking for, you know, you have this competitor tool, yeah? It's really not about competition. It is about understanding the audience that you are attracting and finding the channels that attract the same audience. Because when you're looking through the audience perspective, if you are discovering a new niche, for example, by coincidence, there was one boxing video. I mean, Mike Tyson, for example, yeah? I think the first video was even about Mike Tyson. I started watching that, and suddenly YouTube started recommending more boxing videos to me, which is really interesting. I never watched a real boxing match, but it turned out that these little documentaries that they do have amazing storytelling. Anyway, so I went down the rabbit hole, and the last 3 days or so, I watched quite a number of boxing videos. And for me as a viewer, I'm not interested in the channel itself. I realized over time that some channels, I recognize their name and realize that they do better storytelling than the others. So when I see more videos recommended to me from that channel, I'm more likely to click now because I start to understand which channels are better than the others. But I'm interested in just, you know, finding out a little bit about these different boxers and their boxing styles and I didn't know the whole world about the boxing styles, right? So I'm watching it for seeing the different boxing styles and seeing some boxers, in particular Mike Tyson's, to succeed and who's stronger than the other. And so, you know, this is what I as a viewer think and why I watch those videos in my downtime, for entertainment purposes in this case, of course. And it so happens that there are a number of different channels that produce videos that I find interesting right now. Yeah. And so they successfully managed to attract me as a viewer in this case. And when we see it as a creator perspective, then we always have to see it like this. There is a whole group of audiences, of the audience, a number of people who have the same interest. And those channels in the niche successfully attract some of those people in the audience. Some attract more of this audience, some attract less. Of course, the bigger channels attract more of them, the smaller channels less. And we combine all them to really see the whole of the audience as a sum. And we are looking for what are they as an audience interested in the most. All those channels are trying to figure out what video topics they have to produce in order to attract those viewers. Yeah, and with some video topics they fail. With some video topics they succeed. And those successful videos, for example, are those burners that we have in the tool. They succeed particularly well. And because all those channels in the niche are trying with different video topics to figure out what the audience wants to watch, we go into the tool, have the objective view from the top or outside, so to say, a wholesome view, and just look at all those successful experiments with different video topics that in the end were watched by those viewers the most. And this way we start to understand what really is their interest, what really catches their attention, what really makes them enjoy watching the videos, right? And then we can focus on producing content like this, knowing that this is actually what they want to watch. So we have less trial and error. And since it's all this analysis based on YouTube's recommendations, so browse and suggested, naturally the choice of those video topics work really well for those algorithms. That's why I'm calling this the keyword research tool for browse and suggested, because this whole way of looking at it is based on how the YouTube algorithm, the recommendations engine works, the browse and suggested engine. Anyway, so much for that. Let's quickly collect the channels for the next review. And I call my audience, the audience, my avatar. Yeah, exactly. You can then also do a little bit like a persona. Some call it also persona, avatar, same thing. You can basically write down what are their interests, what are they doing, for what purposes are they watching YouTube. I mean, for example, if you take the boxing example, I'm watching this because I'm just entertained, right? But then there are amateur boxers out there who watch boxing videos to learn new things, to learn new techniques. Yeah. Also boxing videos, but boxing videos for a very different purpose. And naturally, to attract those amateur boxers with boxing videos, you need to do different boxing videos, right? To really go deeper into, how does the left hook work here or something like that? Yeah. How did they block so that they have an opening to throw this left hook? Oh, that was a right hook. Anyway, right? So, of course, for entertainment purposes, I learn a little bit there as well, but way less than a amateur boxer wants to learn about the boxing techniques, right? So, and the avatar explains that. Yeah, you explain what really is their intent in watching their videos. For example, that's what you would define as part of the avatar. Good that you say that. Zane, and regarding your question about where the keyword tool, this new tool here that I'm using all the time, is useful, is it's useful for any size, really. I didn't even get the time to explain it everything. For larger channels, you will oftentimes see that you are at the top of the niche. Then you have to broaden your niche research to find the bigger niche, find related niches, and so my digital marketing, it's yours. This is such a versatile tool. I'm thinking like the rest of the years, countless tutorials to actually explain all facets of that. And quite frankly, I know there's so much power in the tool that I don't even know of yet, because it's a general approach that many experts already use. I didn't invent it. So I just automated a process that works for channels of all sizes. That I don't even fully understand myself yet. Yeah, I have to practice so much more, but I know that even the biggest channels do some stuff like this. They borrow ideas from related niches, for example. It's if you can do far more with that if you have the right understanding that I don't even have yet. But I will try to teach it slowly and learn along the way myself, get more advanced and all that stuff. I mean, it's really crazy. What we have here is, for me, it's really a game changer. I know that many of you don't trust me yet on that, but I'm certain. I just have to find ways to make it, understandable. And I didn't even touch the basics yet. Maybe the basics with my tutorial. We can go that far, but there's so much more to uncover. Okay, I see you didn't create your niche yet, my marketing masterminds. So let's my digital marketing empire. So let's create a new niche here. I will. So for everyone to see here, we will. Where are we? Darn it! The right click doesn't work. What? Why does the right click not work? All right, we can already see what you are all about. So affiliate marketing, Groove funnels, Google Workspace with email. So digital marketing. Yeah, I mean the channel says it all, right? So everything that you need to set up with Google Ads account. I see Facebook Pixel, so you can do ads on Facebook. Gmail, Workspace, Cloudflare, Namecheap, so your own website, stuff like this. I see. Okay, cool. So let's go through the tool quickly. So let's see. This is very technical. I think you don't go that far. Harley, good idea to do collabs. I mean, Daryl and Paddy would be a dream come true. Certainly. I try to figure out things. I don't know whether Sunny still does YouTube tips. Let's see. But I could ask actually. Anyway, workspace tutorials. So here we have also email setup, lose your phone again, Google Workspaces, organize your mailbox with filter and label, protect your. This is interesting. Here, for example, Gmail and Google Workspaces, you have the same thing, yeah. But I think this is something that speaks to a different audience. It's not really digital marketing. Let's see the most popular videos: business email, organizational unit. It's a little bit, yeah, but it's maybe rather collaborating with colleagues. Sharing calendar, spreadsheets, stuff like this. So it's a maybe someone who works in a IT department, stuff like this, bookkeeping, whatever the purpose is why they use this Google Workspace, but it's not focused on digital marketing. It's focused on the tool itself. So it's a different audience, and hence I ignore this channel. Yeah. Although the topics are similar. And again, what we do here is thinking about the audience. Here we have affiliate, creating your own bio, Facebook ad targeting. This is better. Audio with noise, marketing lessons, first online course, yeah, membership site story, membership is my success story. Yeah, this is it's difficult to tell. Yeah, I don't know your niche too well, but it could be that this channel is more about creating your own online course and selling this one. Approve. But I would say it's at least a related niche, but I would say let's count that channel in. All right. Here we have how to email, Calendly, Stripe, contact form. Yeah. Getting leads, Google Analytics, own Shopify. Yeah. Set up all that stuff. It is not the real marketing, customer relationship management. Yeah, true. So it is, yes, it's very tool based. Yeah, tool tutorials. It's not really the digital marketing, but I would assume it's a little bit of a match with all the other channels. So let's add him with the hopes that we don't get too many tool advice channels here, tool use tutorials, website learners. This now I think we really go into this direction. How to make videos, take screenshot. This is really getting work. It's a different perspective if you are a person who does digital marketing, yeah, as an agency, for example, but or just are someone who sets up WordPress sites, like a consultant who does contract work for different people to set up their sites or something. Yeah, then need to know those tools in detail, but you probably don't care too much about the marketing aspect there. Maybe the SEO for the web pages, but anyway. So I ignore him at this point. Boost up your business, security nightmare, help Apple, console, Google Workspace, attend a boot camp. You'd probably see that as boost Google Workspace, hybrid work set up according to hardware. This is more in the work. Entrepreneur, set up your workspace. Google Workspace. Marketing. Hard to say. That's really on the edge. Google Workspace experts. It's also not too much about marketing. Let's ignore him for now. Jewelry business, WordPress, print on demand, big Shopify, affiliate marketing, Shopify, Google Ads. Yeah, that's more in that space. Sendinblue. So Sendinblue is email marketing. Yeah, this is more. Then let's see, Amazon FBA, ads, GoDaddy tutorial, set you up your own website, email marketing, Shopify, TubeBuddy. Yeah, maybe that's one as well. Google Ads, Explore page tutorial. Yeah, let's go this route a little bit. The optimization online course, review digital website, best booking plugins. This is, of course, if you have a sales call, you need that. So web design, setting up everything, WordPress, MailChimp tutorial. Let me check again. Your set up this. Yeah, you are also very tool driven, right? So yeah, then let's add him as well to understand this. So this is you could go, when you do digital marketing, you could go into the strategy direction. Yeah, the big strategy, how to build a successful marketing business, stuff like this. Or you could go like, I teach you all the tools that you need in order to do it right. Yeah, right. So it's a different kind of how you address audiences. And it seems that you do more the tool stuff. So cloud for beginner, website, WooCommerce. Yeah, looks good. Container, misinformed, WordPress. There's a lot about WordPress here, so let's skip them for now. So making a website, book yourself, solid, email marketing. Yeah, that sounds good. Digital marketing empire. Yeah, that's your part. Growth hacking, SEO tips. I wonder who invented those thumbnails. That's a good one. Canva, Google Analytics, set up business profile, MailChimp. Yeah, let's add him. Let's add 2 more. So we have a niche and affiliate marketing, sell on Instagram for this. Shopify. Yeah, sounds good. I think slowly the tool is understanding better and better what your channel is about. Product meaning shifting mind 20 years. The lean startup. It's hard to tell what. Yeah, why not? Okay. Let's keep it at that. So we have a few you would normally, of course, continue. But let's see if that already gives us a little bit. So remaking old stuff that was successful, money through MailChimp. Do you have MailChimp tutorials on your channel? Because MailChimp is quite popular. Let's see if that is actually the case for recent videos as well. Recently, no one did it. Yeah, it's the purpose of the remakes. Topics that were successful in the past, but recently no one made. Maybe that is a good idea, yeah? To do videos about MailChimp once again, because there is, not many videos out there. It could be your chance to get it right. So you essentially would add all those channels to the pattern and watch them, read the comments, make the best MailChimp tutorial that you can, and this way attract the audiences that they attract back then as well. And you certainly know MailChimp is big nowadays as well, so there's still many of your audiences that attract those. So this is an example here. I don't know. Yeah, you just saw the pattern. Yeah, I added all those to the pattern. And what I'm basically doing here is remake the classics, those steps here. This was one thing that I figured out. Let's see if you have some trends in here. It's oftentimes not very trending, these kinds of advice channels, but digital marketing, digital download, digital marketing agency. Yeah, that's not very helpful in this case. Burners, let's see if we can see here. I think many do, of course, WordPress, but it's also, of course, a... what about an LLC, for example? This is something that... interesting. No one talked about that in the niche. Or at least these channels that were added so far. Normally you would have more channels and more data. No. So you try to find topics that were successful across many different channels. Drop shipping is probably not your topic so much, so let's skip there. We saw Shopify quite often. Is that something that many people focus on? Here we have quite a lot of burners from this topic. more burners than non-burners. Shopify would be something as well that you could consider, like Mailchimp, right? This Mailchimp thing was much more successful. As you can see, these are most popular videos. Shopify is 4 out of 7 are burners, yeah. But then again, this is a live stream. Oh, sorry, this doesn't make much sense. There's a 0 length. Anyway, I should filter those. I hope to remember that. Amata, if you're still there, could you send me a message that I should remember filtering live streams here with a 000 timestamp? Thank you. Most popular videos we have also. Oh, yeah, you have to talk about Shopify. We have many most popular videos about Shopify as well. So this is a big topic. People are interested in that. What I basically did here, by the way, is the high traffic evergreen technique here right away. You know, what I basically did is I saw some topic in the latest videos, and we see here that most of those videos are successful. Yeah, 4 out of 6. Ignore this one, which is a live stream that didn't start yet and hence has 0 views. Then we have most popular videos about Shopify as well. So very successful on those channels. And basically that confirms years ago, this topic was big. And nowadays, this topic is big as well. This is a high traffic evergreen topic. So this is the kind of things that you analyze. And again, my digital marketing empire here, full screen for you. Please make a screenshot now. What I would do is we have 2 topics here. This one, as well as watch those 4 videos, as well as watch those 4 burner videos on Shopify. And then basically you can make 2 videos that are the best of each topic. Include reading comments, by the way. Oftentimes these tutorials, these how-to videos, don't answer all questions that people have. But when you read the comments, you see that many people ask the same questions. So you can make sure in your video, you answer those questions that those people have right away. Yeah, and since this Shopify is a topic that was good now back then and is good now, this is an evergreen. It's always high demand for that. And of course, Shopify, yeah, we know that it's a big platform. Many people use it. Harley is asking, does it make sense to have a way to link the selected patterns in the new tool into the input of the older keyword research tool? Interesting question. I am not there yet to really know how to answer that. Just to give everyone an impression of that, what we see here when we collect those patterns, yeah, we collect videos from different channels. We have 4 different channels here, for example, that are all successful as a boilerplate for our own video that we produce. I will later publish a number 3 patterns tab, but you don't really need it to apply this strategy overall. I mean, you know that I promised you this is the keyword research tool for browse and suggested. We will do a little bit more here in the patterns tab, but the key to trigger browse and suggested is really to find video topics that the audience really enjoyed in the past. And hence we can do a kick-ass video that covers is the same topic. Yeah. And this is all you really need to do. But the goal here is that you watch those videos, analyze them, why they were successful, make a even better video than those successful videos. Yeah. You put everything in there that you can, that we all learn in the YouTube advice. Good thumbnails for high click-through rate, clickable titles, really good editing, storytelling, so that people watch to the end. We need all that so that the browse and suggested algorithms are really, truly triggered. Without that, it won't work. Just choosing the right topic is of course not enough, but it is the deciding element in the whole strategy, and that we can already do in the tool. But since you asked, Carle, about connecting that into the keyword research tool that is already existing for YouTube search, the SEO tool that we have with Morningfame, and of course with all the other tools like TubeBuddy and VidIQ, we know SEO well. The question is, how do you optimize the metadata? And what you would do here, just for the browse and suggested algorithms, you just look at the titles here and which words they use. And they all use MailChimp tutorial. Yeah, you can clearly see that. MailChimp tutorial. So you have to have MailChimp tutorial in your video that you produce based on those videos as well. It is a good idea to have the year in there, and of course 2022 now. And let's see, step for beginners, step by step for beginners we have here, step by step for beginners, step by step. Consider adding step by step as well, yeah, or beginners, depending on how do you address those people. But you basically take a few of those main words and put them into your title as well. But then don't be too strict here. Some few words, MailChimp tutorial certainly, and step-by-step is probably a good idea as well. But the browse and suggested algorithms basically only need MailChimp tutorial. They don't really need more than that. They do basically a content match where they roughly look at which videos are topically related, and MailChimp tutorial already tells the algorithms enough so that they understand your video that you produce is something similar that like these videos here. Yeah. The step-by-step to add that as well is something that I only recommend because it seemed to have worked for those videos. This is a trigger, something that is for the viewers. Yeah, the viewers, when they see the video, they want to know if they have the right video here that they should click. And step-by-step is indicating to them that it's really in small steps. And even if they are not familiar with MailChimp yet, they get it explained very well in small steps. Yeah, so people are more likely to click. So we rather design the titles to be really click-worthy. Yeah, something that catches the attention, that people click there. And for example, you could do a title like the MailChimp tutorial that I wish I had when I was just a beginner. Maybe a little bit shorter. When I was a beginner, I wish I had this MailChimp tutorial. I mean, it sounds even better, a little bit better than these, right? But anyway, all you need is MailChimp tutorial there, and then everything else is to entice people more to click. Yeah. So the optimization that you do for your video, and we really talk video title here, that's all, is not really much. Yeah, I will later do a tutorial on that to not only tell you this right now in the live stream, because I know most people are not watching this. I have to produce a proper tutorial to really spread the message to all users. But it's not really much that you have to do here. Yeah, what you expect then when you do some stuff like this, then it is the case that you will publish the videos planned with this tool, And then not much will happen with these videos at first. But then after several weeks, when the algorithm starts to understand who's the right audience for that, then suddenly it will skyrocket. It's really interesting. It's a very different behavior from YouTube search. When you do YouTube search, SEO, ranking in search, right? Then it's usually like the slope that it's the views trickle in, and it's slowly growing, yeah, and constantly growing, and over years growing every day more views at a constant pace, and that's really valuable. But browse and suggested works a little bit different. It takes some time until the algorithm understands it, if you did everything right, and then suddenly a skyrocketing, yeah. Very interesting behavior there. And it's really not the optimization in a SEO purpose. However, yeah, we can combine both. And it was very important to me very important to me to explain that early on. But I always had in mind that I'm preparing everything, my advice, for this release that just happened a few weeks ago for the keyword research tool for browse and suggested, how I call it, what I just showed to everyone here, is that I'm preparing. Yeah, now you have two different growth strategies that are completely different. The SEO tool for YouTube search and the new tool that is meant for browse and suggested. Which one should you use? Which strategy should you use? And of course, ideally, you could use both. And if you're interested in that, this is the video to watch. I extended the SEO tool with a big data study to figuring out what is the minimum amount of optimization that you really need in order to rank in search. Yeah. The SEO tool is updated accordingly. People remember that at the end of last year, I think it happened, half a year ago or something like that, I updated the relevance formula in the keyword research tool, which gives you much more freedom to design your titles in a more enticing way. For example, one example that worked really well for me, because I'm here, for example, that was the announcement of the new tool that is now released. This research X-rays your YouTube niche. YouTube niche research is the search term that I optimized it for. And I put it into the title in a creative way. We didn't know that this possible, this kind of thing. Let's see if I can. I open a private browser here, go to YouTube. It should rank there. YouTube niche research. Let's see that. Okay, maybe. Oh, my live stream is ranking. Here, number 6. Yeah, it's ranking here successfully, even though the title is kind of mixed up. No one knew to this point that this is actually possible. Usually, how you see that here in the first one, it's in one. It's not mixed. Like I put a research further at the beginning and not in one go here, right? These are the old rules. So I basically extended the SEO tool to give you more freedom. I'm explaining you this because we want this freedom to write more enticing titles that are more clickable, which then allows us to optimize with this new prototype like this as well. So we know from this tool that we should put MailChimp tutorial in there. And then we are basically starting to search for search terms that have MailChimp tutorial in there as well. And then we can optimize for search, for a search term that is somehow something like MailChimp tutorial, and basically trigger search, browse, and suggested at the same time. And the reason why you would want to do this, I explain in this video. So So feel free to check it out later on. Basically, small channels only use SEO because browse and suggested doesn't work for them yet. Large channels only use browse and suggested because it's more powerful and it's working for them already. But then there are channels that are not small but also not large, and they have to jump a gap there from one strategy to the other, from the search strategy to the browse and suggested strategy. And basically, I paved a way for channels who are in the middle to both at the same time. And that's what I'm explaining you there. Anyway, it is really, this advanced thinking, how you could combine, how those different strategies fit together. But what I'm teaching you today is really a new thinking that is not at all like YouTube SEO. But good news, you can even combine them. And I am at a stage where I want to combine them because browse and suggested is not successfully working for me yet, which I'm planning to change, of course. All right. Do you have any more questions? Because my brain is done for today. Unfortunately, I won't have the time to do another review, but I certainly will repeat all that. Maybe next time focus more on the second tab rather than the first tab, but let's see how we do this. I know I have a lot of education to do with this kind of new strategy that is not commonly taught, at least not in a very precise way right now. So I will put out all those different tutorials to explain all that. And of course, with you in my early access group, I really benefit a ton from your feedback to understand where your thinking is at, what you need in order to understand, to work that. It's oftentimes the case that to really make this new thinking fit, there is kind of a rethinking necessary that you know that it's also fitting you. What I can tell you with the new tool, it's really the case, it really fits for all channels. The example that I gave for in my tutorials, the last 2 videos that are uploaded on my channel, my friend in the cooking niche, she started from 0 and was using this technique back then manually still because the tool was not ready. But I explained her exactly like it works now with the tool, because I had the concept of the tool ready in my head already. So I was able to teach her that. And she was able to grow a channel from 0 with just 5 videos uploaded at this point. And suddenly the views really skyrocketed. It was crazy. And she was just a hobby thing. It's kind of a similar thing that you usually see in Daryl Eves' tutorial. There they skyrocket even crazier. Paddy Galloway shares similar things. Benny Bear also on Twitter shares quite a lot of interesting things. They all use this kind of approach to trigger browse and suggested. And it really works for everyone. I didn't stumble upon any case yet where you can't say this kind of research does not work. But the devil is in the detail. And by far, I didn't have the time yet to explain all the aspects yet. I don't even understand all the aspects yet. I really have to say so. I have a good grasp of the basics, but it takes time for me also to really dive deep into understanding it all. So feel free to reach out to me if you have doubts on that. It happened quite often already that someone told me, but I have this particular niche. For example, mystery stories. Real mysteries. Real true crime stories. Now I have it. True crime stories. And they say you can't analyze these different topics that the other channels produced and then do the same video, but because if someone talked about one true crime story already, you can't tell the same story again. That would be boring. But again, you can still use this approach, by finding certain patterns. For example, all true crime stories where someone died, for example, always works well. Or all true crime stories that is somehow related to ghosts works well. So you see the patterns in other direction, not the literal topic, the particular true crime story, but instead the makeup of the story. And then you easily can try to find a true crime story from the past. You do some internet research and figure out, is there another true crime story that is related to ghosts, for example? And then you publish that, and you know the audience is craving such stories because there is a large audience that is interested in the paranormal, for example, and the mix of true crime and paranormal is, what makes them excited. Yeah, that's what you extract there. And it was great. That guy I talked to with the true crime was really not getting this approach, but then individually I explained to him, you could see it this way. And then he was super stoked. So feel free to reach out to me if you have particular questions like these. I try to process this in a way that it makes sense to you in particular, and also that teaches me more. I didn't think about this particular true crime case before, but now I can tell you that, right? And my education becomes better because of that. So that's super helpful. Super helpful. Okay. Adventures in Dirt. How are you doing? I'm glad you saw some patterns already that you never seen before. It is really, experts are using it all the time already. It's just that I think this technique didn't spread around so much because it's a ton of work to do without it. Imagine you have to find all those channels, and then you have to go on the channel page for every channel and then try to compare screenshots and stuff like this. And here you just you just have collected it all here, right? And then you enter Shopify or WooCommerce, I think was one thing, or WooCommerce, right? And then it's there, right? This speeds up the process so much that suddenly you can do these things and get the insights that I know already people practice all the time and find it valuable and put in the hours nonetheless to do it manually because they know it's so valuable. Yeah, but nowadays with this tool you can do it like in minutes, yeah. Or if you take half an hour, then you go so deep that you find those cool patterns. Okay, now even my voice is finishing up here. Let's see. Let's do some last questions. Can you explain again how to see our audience who watch on YouTube? Kent. This was the question with the YouTube Studio. This is also a good starting point, which you don't need when you have the tool, because it's basically the same thing and more. But here, when you go into the analytics, you go to the audience tab here, and then other channels your audience watches. So here you already have an overlap of audience, which is valuable to see. And since you mentioned the research tab, by the way, since you have here in the prototype, you have a text search, right? You can actually use the research tab, which is a very different tool of its kind. It's not the usual SEO. You have your searches, then you can go. I don't get good terms here usually. That's kind of weird. You can use these terms and try them in the tool here as well, and maybe you find even a pattern on that aspect. But yeah, usually I don't find it very helpful. It's probably more helpful for larger channels. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Let's, yeah. Paddy Meddy, if you have created your niche and you somehow are not happy with it, go here, my niche. You can't delete my niche. This is a fixed one, but you can clear it. Clear all, this button here when you go to manage my niches. But you can also create new niches and test out things there and all that. Yeah. All right. I hope this helped. I will certainly repeat such a live stream, do more tutorials on there, because it's really, a new chapter. I call it the dawn of recommendation engine optimization. Let's see if that word sticks. Like search engine optimization, we now enter the area of recommendation engine optimization, and it's certainly something super different. So I look forward to do more tutorials, and all your thoughts, send them my way. That only helps me to improve my teachings. So let's learn together, get this thing right. I hope to get as good as the best experts myself as well. There's so much more to learn. That's a great journey, and let's go together. All right. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'm really glad that you were there. And if you have any questions that I didn't happen to answer there, you know how to reach me in the comments and all that. We can follow up later as well. All right. Cheers, my friends.